Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Annette Montgomery. Tonight, it's been nearly 1 week since the first buildings were evacuated at the concierge apartments in Rocky Hill. Renters
only had a few hours to find a place to stay after the buildings were deemed unsafe. And since last Thursday, some people have moved back in, but as Fox 61's Tim Latow reports, the wait for others is more prolonged.
Some people at the concierge apartments were grateful to be able to return this week, but others expect to spend a second straight week in a hotel.
We're still trying to get some more clarification each time we get an email. It's a little bit vague, and we're hoping that we get to go back on the 20th is what they said, possibly on the 20th.
More than a week spent in a hotel, and now more than a week to go for Justin Jamin and Juffy Abraham. They live in Building 100 at the concierge apartments, where frozen pipes, leaks, and other issues forced them from their home nearly a week ago.
And we heard that from the hotel. We're not actually getting any communication from the apartment people, to be honest.
They're upset by the lack of communication from the concierge apartment's management. They say the hotel they've been staying at has been the most reliable source of information. A renter in another building who wanted to remain anonymous tells me the move back in for her on Tuesday was incredibly stressful as a result of the management company's mixed messages.
I asked for an update, I think Monday, and I was told we're not going to be back by Tuesday, right? So I didn't make plans to be back by Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, we got an email at like 2 p.m. telling us to come back home. And we're told we had to leave the hotel by like 11 p.m. the same night.
The stop work orders plastered on the leasing office doors on Tuesday were gone by Thursday evening. The tenants who were cleared to return to 2 of the buildings were greeted back with leaks and fire alarms going off. Abraham doesn't know what to expect when she gets back to her apartment, or if it will actually happen next Friday.
Every day we wake up and we're like, okay, let's go check the front desk to see when our checkout date is, because it changes randomly, and you never know.
Attorney General William Tong has been meeting with the ownership group's leaders on how to compensate renters. Meanwhile, his investigation into the situation is ongoing. In Rocky Hill, Tim Latow, Fox 61.
The situation had gotten so bad there were certain classrooms that were absolutely freezing. Kids were in blankets and coats. Closure is new, but the fight for heat in the school is not new.
In a Fox 61 exclusive tonight, parents of students at Quaker Farm School are sharing their concerns about the conditions that led leaders to close the school for the entire week.
Fox 61's Stephen Reels went to Oxford to speak with parents who say these issues are not new.
No one wants to send their child to school in the cold, and understandably, the parents that I spoke with said they're frustrated, simply, and that's because the heating issues here at Quaker have been present for years now. The school has slowly canceled classes over the course of the week, a day at a time, but Thursday and Friday were canceled altogether because a generator did not arrive on time. And crews are said to be working around the clock to fix the heating and leaks in the school, which also include the sprinkler system. I spoke with a parent of a Quaker student, Jessica Gurnett, and she told me she's advocated to get a new HVAC system here since 2023 for both Quaker and the other elementary school here in Oxford. She told me this just feels like the town doesn't care about what they have.
In 2023, right at the end of the year, we finally got permission to apply for a grant. At this point, the project I heard is maybe about halfway done, but now we have this catastrophic failure and we're scrambling in an emergency.
So how does that make you feel?
Just like it's just been kicked down the road and neglected like so many other things in this town.
I spoke with another parent on Facebook, and she told me that her kids also went through Quaker, and they also had to deal with canceled classes due to a lack of heat. But this time around, the superintendent says that classes will continue to stay canceled through the planned winter break, which is scheduled to end on the 18th of February. That's next Tuesday. But this also means that the end of school for these students will be pushed to June 19th. In Oxford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
All right, we've got colder air sinking in tonight. Not too bad, but teens as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Otherwise, it's a beautiful Friday. We do have the chance for some snow showers before daybreak Saturday morning, and that could leave a quick coating of snow for some areas. We're not expecting much, but I definitely wanted to let you know so you're not caught off guard. And then it gets even warmer as we head into next week with highs soaring into the 40s. Could we get to near 50? It's possible. I'm saying there's a chance. Temperatures right now are in the 20s, and as I mentioned before, we are expecting those numbers to drop back a bit more than they did last night. It's also a bit breezy too, gusts up to as high as 20 to 25 miles per hour. Here's a look at low temperatures by daybreak, and tomorrow we'll see a lot of sunshine. By 10 a.m. temperatures are in the mid-20s, and high temperatures will climb into the mid-30s for most of the state as we head through the afternoon. Again, starting off early Valentine's Day with a fresh coating of snow in parts of the state. We'll take a look at that, plus the warm up that follows coming up.
New tonight, Connecticut State Police are investigating a hit and run in Tolland. Troopers say a vehicle traveling on Mile Hill Road hit a person who was walking along the shoulder with a snowblower in the area of 175 Mile Hill Road. They say that person then left the scene. The victim hit was taken to Hartford Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are now looking for a white sedan with possible front passenger side damage near the wheel well. Now, that vehicle is believed to have continued toward Vernon. Anyone with any information, please contact State Police.
And we're learning new details about the school bus crash involving students from Nonawag High School. Officials say 8 students were on board at the time. 5 were taken to the hospital, including 2 with serious injuries. And police say 65-year-old Richard Esty rear-ended the bus and pushed it into another vehicle. Esty was arrested and charged with driving under the influence and failure to obey a traffic signal. He was released on a $25,000 bond. A local alumni association is now working with community members to raise money for the injured students, and the crash remains under investigation.
And police are now investigating a crash involving a school bus in Watertown. That crash happened around 8:20 a.m. on Guernsey Town Road. Officials say sun glare may have been a contributing factor. 10 students were on board the bus, but none were hurt. Police say a car hit an SUV and pushed it into the bus. 2 people in the other vehicles were injured, but are expected to be okay.
Fire forced 5 people out of their Berlin home this afternoon, but no injuries were reported. Firefighters responded to Ripple Court just after 12:15 p.m. and found heavy smoke coming from the basement. Crews quickly extinguished the fire. Officials say the home sustained smoke and minor structural damage, and the cause remains under investigation tonight. And Meriden police have released new details in a series of armed robberies that happened between September and November. Corey Alexis and Gardy Roman have both been arrested. Police say during an October gas station robbery, Roman was armed with a knife, jumped over the counter, took cash from the register, and then ran off. Roman was initially charged with robbery and 5th-degree larceny. Police say the larceny charge has since been upgraded to 3rd degree. And local leaders in Tolland say they feel blindsided after learning the state intends to build a criminal detention center for serious juvenile offenders in the town.
Fox 61's Alicia Hercules explains the plans for the detention center and how the community now feels about the decision.
The people I spoke with say they are shocked that town officials weren't initially informed by the state. Some say they simply don't want it here.
Absolutely not.
Laura Ayudi has lived in Tolland for more than 20 years. She says this detention center is concerning.
It's scary. It's not a good idea.
She thinks something more constructive for her community would be a better fit.
The higher ups who think about these things, like, why not good things for the kids in Tolland? Why detention centers?
The 20-bed secure juvenile detention center for serious offenders is expected to be built at 303 Murrow Road. In a Facebook post, Brian Foley, the town manager, says they were blindsided by this news. He says a state representative was informed by an attorney representing the state of Connecticut Judicial Branch. Through research, they learned the state has entered a purchase and sale agreement with the owner of the property. Due to a non-disclosure agreement between the state and the seller, Foley says the state won't share any more information with them. Foley says the state never notified any town official, state representative, or their state senator.
I don't love it.
Kathy Gorski has lived in the town for more than 20 years. She says the lack of communication between the town and the state is concerning.
I do feel like if the state were more forthcoming in their information and informed the town council about it, it would make me feel a little bit better about it.
Town officials have voiced safety concerns as Murrow Road is a heavily traveled road and is near several businesses. Other people we spoke with who drive through the area say they were surprised but aren't too concerned.
I mean, I wish I would have known, but now that I do know, I think it's okay.
The town manager says they're exploring their legal options and will be discussing this matter at their next town council meeting on February 24th at 7 o'clock. In Tolland, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and a Connecticut advocacy group says preventing teen dating violence takes the whole community. Interval House joined lawmakers and youth leaders in Hartford and wore orange to raise awareness. Organizers say children as young as 11 are dating, and studies show many parents may not realize it. The group is now urging parents, teachers, and other adults to help young people build healthy relationships and model positive behavior.
It can't just be a one-time conversation. It needs to be an environment. It needs to be wraparound. It needs to be all of the time, understanding mutual respect, as a for instance, trusting, being kind and good, and all of those things. So it can't be just us.
And Mary Jane Foster, who you just heard from, says 1 in 3 kids report abusive relationships. She emphasized working with kids early on so they learn healthy relationships and behaviors from the get-go. And regardless of how old you are, if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, there are resources out there to help. The phone numbers and websites on your screen are available 365 days a year, 24/7.